Ladies and gentlemen, Silent Mike Super Train Gym. I'm here with the one and only. Shout out to my boy, Little Smokey.
What's up, guys?
Also want to shout out to my boy, Jacob Ross, Texas Thunder _ on Instagram. He had a question for us today, but first a little bit about Smokey. You guys seen him in some videos, but this dude successfully benched over 400 pounds 3 times at 181. Benched 420 pounds 2 times with an ass mess up. He was set up for about 430, but he doesn't know how to keep his hips down. We're working on it. He's got no ass at all syndrome.
I got a big case of it, small case of it.
Tiny, huge case of no ass at all. And Jacob's question, 2-part. One, tricep movements that have helped us build some pressing strength, whether it is overhead, bench press, push-ups, any kind of pushing at all, pushing a cart down the store when you're getting your vegetables. You're gonna need those triceps activated. We'll talk about that, and then secondary, how to keep that tricep healthy, the elbows healthy. A lot of those are attached. So Smokey, what are some of your favorite tricep movements that you've used to build up those 18-inch arms?
They are 18.
Yeah, we know. We could tell. We could tell they're 18-inch arms plus the 400-pound bench.
I really enjoy power movements, some things that are going to challenge you, not just isolated movements. You know, push downs are great. Cable extensions are great to get blood flow in there, and maybe you'll do a little burnout. But I enjoy movements that really get a legit stretch on your tricep. So single hand dumbbell extensions.
French press.
French press. I didn't know that.
Yeah, French press behind your head.
Learn things. Gets a really good stretch on your tricep. Dips if you go all the way down, not far enough to where your shoulder's being compromised, but you get a full stretch. And then skull crushers. So that's dumbbell, easy bar, curl bar, whatever's going to get a full stretch on your tricep. Put a heavy load, maybe even the 5 to 8 range. Something that's pretty challenging, and then finish it up with your cables, push downs. To put blood in there.
Yeah, there's no top secrets. There's nothing weird going on, but I think Smokey mentioned 3 basic movements: some kind of compound, some kind of heavy skull crusher because you handle more weight, and then some kind of cable isolation movement where you handle less weight. And I think a key thing there is always to train it like a strength thing too. You don't have to just do isolation movements for 15 reps. I'm a big fan of also doing whether it is a dip, which is more compound, but skull crushers in the 5 to 8 range. Now you're talking about skull crushers. I think it's the most common one that often hurts people when you get elbow tendonitis. So things we have to look there are every step of the way. We have to look at nutrition and sleep and hydration. So you got to stay hydrated. You're not hydrated, you're not sleeping well, you won't be able to repair as fast as you can or as fast as you need to. So there may be inflammation from there and built up fatigue. That's too far. We want to build up fatigue so we can adapt and grow. If we have too much fatigue, we break and get worse. So those are kind of the lines you have to cross and figure out for yourself. There's no exact 3 sets of 8 at 70%. It's different for everybody. 2 is technique in the main lift. So technique in the squat, bench, and deadlift can often put too much stress on that elbow if the technique is poor, and that's going to cause some inflammation in the wrong way, right? Inflammation to grow, again, good. Inflammation too much, bad. We're going to get injured. And then 3 is exercise modification. So I'll show you guys here. It's popping up on the screen how I like to do skull crushers. Sometimes it's on an incline. I find if on a decline, just like the French press, I think is awesome for building strength and size, but it's a bigger range of motion and can put more pressure on the elbow. So if the elbow's hurting, maybe we need to get in the incline position or sadly skip them all. I think a dip, and my other favorite is an incline close grip bench press. So those 2 are compound movements. You can use a lot of weight, but their emphasis is on the tricep, but the major key there is just more pressing. One, if you want to get good at bench, you have to do a ton of bench. That's kind of already out the window. Hopefully I've said that enough to you guys. You have to get the skill of bench pressing. But dips, close grip incline press, some type of skull crusher. Hopefully it doesn't hurt your elbows if you fix these other factor. And then I'm a big fan also of some kind of push down. I do the one arm with just the cable. I'm a big fan. My boy Alberto Nunez mentioned it on Omar's channel, but also any double hand too, because then you can use a little bit more weight. And once again, load, stimulus, volume, that's what we're doing to grow. The last factor in figuring out why you have some inflammation, maybe mobility in general. If you're benching kind of like this, you have no mobility in your shoulder, you're all tight here, it's gonna put a lot of weird pressure and strain down here instead of that pec, which should be stretched. So check your mobility, check your nutrition, check your sleep. Give us just a rundown of your tricep workout, whenever last tricep workout you did, sets and reps.
After hitting bench, I'll try to maintain that same heavy movement, maybe it's even 4 to 5 range. I'll just say I'm doing 5s today. I'll do a plate. I'll do 2 plates. I'll do 3 plates. So I find something where I can't hit 5 anymore.
That's dips.
That's dips.
Heavy ass dips.
I'll then move on to heavy skull crusher. I might go from the 5 range to then maybe the 8 range.
Because you don't want to be obnoxious. You don't want to do a max effort skull crusher.
Yeah, especially if you already went heavy on bench. You don't need to stay in like the singles or the triple range. And then I go heavy on skull crushers. Variation of that. I might do dumbbell. I really enjoy dumbbells. I get a really nice stretch. really kind of stretch it out right in the hole. And then I'll go for 10 to 20 reps on the push downs, whether it's with a rope, whether it's with a straight bar. I really enjoy a straight bar. For me, I try to get in the same position as I'm benching. So that's literally like shoulders back, chest up, lock the lats, push down.
One, it'll replicate the bench, and two, a lot of people do push downs like this, and now you're using a bunch of front delt, which if you want to do front delt, we can do a whole another video, but you probably want to do some kind of overhead press or bench itself. I think that's it for this one, you sons of bitches. Follow Little Smokey. Shout out my boy Jacob for the question. Be sure to follow Jacob on Instagram. He trains Luau Dang. Used to train Matt Forte, a bunch of really high level team sport athletes, which I look up to highly. Plus, he's just an awesome dude, very knowledgeable in sport specific and strength training. And he's gonna be doing his, I don't know if it's his first powerlifting meet, but a powerlifting meet coming up. So go and check it out. Appreciate you guys. We're out of here.